Hey everybody, welcome back. Howdy Keith. This be the B-Roll with Big John C back on the engineer status tables. Haha, the man. Woo! So, we got a big show, lovely show going on this week. As always, I mean, I say it, but I also deliver it. We deliver it. You gotta admit that. So let's just wait till the music drop off and we can jump in. I'm back. Mama, Uncle tripping again. Yep. So anyway, been gone for a couple weeks, but that's okay because we're back. We're back and we're back live. That's right. It's been a long time. Sorry I left you, but now that I'm back, I'm gonna get with ya. Here we go. There's a lot happening. In case y'all haven't realized, since it's the last show, there's a lot happened. There's a assassination attempt on the Republican felonious nominee. yeah, I don't mean to laugh, but he's a felon, a 34-count felon that's been nominated for the. I deviate. Let's slow it up. Okay, back to the issue. Trump. Okay, everything Trump, right? Nah, not everything, not Trump. But we got the attempted assassination, right? You heard about that. A lot of people believe it's staged. I'm one of those individuals who believe it's staged, and I'll get into that as we go along more and more. I'm not going to do a whole show on it because that's to be done in multiple shows, right? As you know, one of his supporters was killed, yeah, a hero. They called him a hero. And, well, we'll get into that.
It was divine intervention, I heard.
And divine intervention that he didn't get hit. But
a firefighter got killed.
Firefighter. And a couple of people got seriously wounded. And here's the deal. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. More about what the show is going to be about. Boom. Let me see what we got in here. Supporter killed, supporters wounded. President Biden dropping out for his second bid for his second term. Kamala Harris getting the support of President Biden and many other heavy hitters in the Democratic Party and fake stream media, right? That's just some of the things. We always put extra stuff in there, so. That's us. It wouldn't be us without it, right? Okay. Let's start with let's start with the attempted assassination or the staged attempt, as a lot of people are saying, not just me. I think I was one of the first ones that said, yeah, this thing looks staged. Yeah, it did. It looked staged. Somebody, let's deal with the supporters first. A supporter got killed. One of his supporters, a fireman, former fireman, right? Or fire chief. He was actually, I think, the fire chief of the what was the name of the thing? Bethlehem or something. Where the rally was held at, right, in Pennsylvania. He was killed. Right? A couple supporters were nearly fatally wounded, and they upgraded it. This is crazy. They downgraded something to seriously wounded. You know how hurt they must have been? Wow. To downgrade it to seriously injured. Okay? Looked like they might be pulling through. So let's deal with that first. And we'll get in with the Biden and VP Harris and the fake stream media later.
Butler,
Pennsylvania. All right. He was the fire chief, and he had retired from that position as fire chief. And let's deal with that. He was killed. He was killed by a would-be assassin, or what they call an assassin, Crooks, Thomas Crooks, right? He was
Crooks.
Crooks. It's appropriate, right? Donald Trump, Crooks. You see how they mix that in there? The Donald Trump, Crooks, crooked Biden. So you can't use that anymore, right? Because a lot of people going to say crooks, crooked Biden. No, crook, Donald Trump, crook, felon. Yeah. So anyway, he was unalived by a counter sniper. Apparently, he took multiple shots. Well, he didn't. Apparently, he discharged his firearm multiple times. Injuring a few people, right, and killing and unaliving the former fire chief. So that being the case, apparently, supposedly, one of the bullets, one of the let's call them missiles, because once you launch something, it becomes a missile. It's not just the one that you fire through the air with rockets and stuff. No, any projectile that goes through the air is considered a missile, right? So the missile nicked his ear. Just nipped his ear. Like it was a flesh wound, but it didn't require any stitches. Hold up. You just got hit by a bullet traveling at 1,000 miles per second, and you didn't get no stitches? All right, come on. Stop it. Just stop it. And what makes a lot of people say it was staged was his reaction to it and everything that was going on at that time. Remember, because the bullet went by his ear, he goes, oh my God. And he ducks down and then drops down, right? Security go, Secret Service go to get him out there. Now, Secret Service job, period. Don't matter who the person is, if you got a Secret Service detail around you, their main job is to get you, that individual, out of there. It doesn't matter if you're the president or a congressperson or senator, whether you're senator or a House representative or whoever they are guarding. Whoever they are guarding. Their job is to get you out there regardless. So he went down. Secret Service gathered around him. And he stands up. He starts to wave, but then he remembers, oh no, let me put the fist up there. Yeah, fight. And he gestures, what a fight, right? He makes his gestures, right? Hold up. No. And he asks for his shoe. Oh no, my shoe. I need my shoe. And Secret Service went with that stuff. Who just got shot at by an individual and they just tried to pick up their clothes, right? Or whatever they drop, and Secret Service just let them do what they want to do. No, that's how it goes in the real world. Ronald Reagan and everybody after that, if they felt that there was a live threat, they're going to snatch you out and you're gone. That's it. You don't get to pick up your shoe, you drop your phone, that chick you was talking about, you dropped her number. It does not matter. It does not matter. They're going to grab you and carry you out. There's no stopping posing. This is why a lot of people is thinking that it was staged. In addition to the fact that that one bullet, that one missile, clipped his ear. Hold up. And then his response is that I had the perfect turn of my head. Who says that? Who says? No, I've been on the scene when people start firing off firearms. The last thing anybody I ever heard would say, oh, by the graces of my skill, I just turned my head slightly enough for the missile to graze me with a flesh wound. No. And this is why I said this, and I actually responded to Big John C. the day before they started saying this. He communicated with me. He said, it looks staged, because I had put something out that said it looked staged. I'm assuming that's where you got it from, right? That's what you was responding to? Because you text me and said it looked staged. But I think you responded to something that I had put out.
Yeah, I was responding to something you put out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my response to him was that What?
I don't know if it looks staged. I don't think I said it looked staged. I said it looked suspicious.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you said.
Don't quote me on this.
I'm not going to quote you on this. I'm going to quote what you put in here.
I mean, to pull that kind of circus off, I don't know.
Here's the thing.
It's too much.
They've had months to put this together. Now here's the thing. Here's what my reply to it. Here's the crazy thing. He may not have taken the shot. I was referring to Thomas Crooks. May not have taken the shot. The very next day, they were saying, "Oh, it looks like there was a second shooter." The very next day, they were saying it looks like it was a second shooter. And here's why I say it looks like a second shooter. It was a second shooter. Because it nipped his ear. I want you to understand something. Did a little research. You have a lot of snipers out here. You have a few snipers out here and a few other people who are marksmen, who in the military, they would be considered snipers on different grades. To become a military sniper, to get that certification, that you have to qualify for it. Like if you work in any job and you want to get that extra certification, guess what? You got to go take those classes, that course, to get that extra certification, right? Registered nurse, a mechanic, teacher, electrician. If you want that extra plumber, if you want that extra certification, you have to qualify. Same thing in the military. You could qualify to become a sniper or to get the sniper certification. But here's the thing. You have to be able to hit a certain target, I think 6 to 12 inches from 1,000 yards. 6 to 12 inches from 1,000 yards. You know what that is? That's 4.5 times the distance that past what Thomas Crooks was at. Matter of fact, it was less than that because they said he was about 130 yards, 130 to 140 yards. They show you the surrounding buildings within 200 yards of the stage. They don't show you the buildings that are supposed to be a higher angle from 300 yards away. To become a marksman or compete in some marksmanships at 500 yards, you know what some of these guys actually capable of doing? They're capable of putting 3 rounds, consecutive rounds, in the same hole. One bullet, one missile, right? Creates the hole. 2 more goes through that same exact hole. Yeah, from 500 yards. That's crazy, ain't it? That's 500 yards. So what are you talking about, 300 yards? You're talking about an ear? An ear? Come on. You got to look at the things. And we all heard what Trump said. We all heard what Trump said. People who were paying attention, we heard what Trump said. Leading up days, maybe 2 weeks, days leading up to that rally, he was saying something big is going to happen. Tune in. Something big is going to happen. The last time he said that, we had an insurrection. What could be so captivating for America to tune in on? What could be so captivating? Would it be the announcement of his vice president, his VP pick, J.D. Vance, Senator J.D. Vance? I turned my volume down, dog. I turned my volume all the way down.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I tell you now.
Divine intervention got your phone to.
Yeah, you did.
It's gonna happen again.
I turned on airplane mode. Come on, give it a break, man. Anyway, back to subject ahead, and I made sure I turned that volume down. I ain't doing it. Next time, I'm just gonna turn it to airplane mode.
Next time, just turn it off.
Next time, I can't turn my phone off.
Why can't you turn it off?
It might not come back on. It's not an iPhone. It's an Android, and it's a few years old. So, what was I saying? Yeah. the big announcement was going to be J.D. Vance, the senator from used to live in Kentucky. I don't know where he's from, but with the billionaire sugar daddy.
Well, he lives in Ohio now.
He's in Ohio now.
He's originally from Kentucky.
He's originally from Kentucky. He got the $1 billion sugar daddy, the founder of from PayPal. He was the founder of PayPal. That guy. He's J.D. Vance sugar daddy. I'm serious. He's literally J.D. Vance sugar daddy. He helped, like they say, some people are sugar daddies to Drake and sugar daddy to Puff. Those guys, yeah, the billionaires in the industry, yeah, he's sugar daddy. He's gay too. No kidding, he's gay. The sugar daddy, the billionaire.
Oh, the sugar daddy. Okay.
Yeah, the billionaire, the billionaire sugar daddy. He's gay, but not J.D. Vance. That's what they were saying about Meek Mills, but now turning out that Meek Mills and a lot of them guys was bending over for Puff. And that's not me. That's from other sources. Yeah. So let's put it in perspective. And not to deviate, Spike Lee put this out there a long time ago. There was a movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it called Below Zero or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was talking
less than zero.
Less than zero, and it was actually talking about what's going on, what we're seeing today. How they would have these Hollywood parties, and they would get people, and they would just turn them out. And Robert Downey Jr. was one of those who got turned out. It was some crazy thing, and they had the Brat Pack. That was the Brat Pack back there. Who was that? That was Robert Downey Jr., Emilio Estevez,
Molly Ringwald.
Robert, what's her name?
Molly Ringwald.
Right, Molly.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. Spader. I think Bass Spader was in there. There was that brat. Andrew McCartney.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all in this thing they called the Brat Pack, and that was something that was going on for a few decades. They would get like the young up and coming stars. Yeah. So it was a movie, and who did that movie? Who produced it? Spike Lee. So yeah, and it was all out there. But back to J.D. Vance, yeah, he got a sugar daddy who's been supporting him all along. So of course, when all these other guys was like in the running, they had, they got who's the Albedo, the guy from North Carolina, senator from North Carolina, Tim Scott.
You lost me. I'm still on.
Okay, Tim Scott.
I'm still on Bratz.
Yeah, Tim Scott. The one from here, Donald's. All these guys, they think they're in there. Marco Ruby. They all thought they had a little run in there. They all thought they had a little opportunity, but they didn't have no sugar daddy backing them. So it was a slam dunk, right? That was the RNC. They went crazy, but that's another story. Back to what we were saying. This assassination that they call assassination attempt, that was a marksman shot that clipped his ear. And all those things that followed, all the things that went around, they even show a woman sitting in the podium, in the area right behind him, in the seating right behind him, filming with a phone. When it happened, she dropped down. She did like, oh my God, no, scramble. No, she just dropped down like, still filming with an iPhone in her hand. Somebody pointed it out. I said, whoa, I didn't even notice that. And then when you look at multiple what do you want to call it? YouTube casters, podcasters, when you see multiple ones, they showing this female who's ducking down. That's it. She ducks down. And you see the cameraman coming around, taking the pictures, coming around, taking the pictures. Hold up. This man just got shot at by a sniper. Don't tell me you got that much heart and care that much that you want to get that angle on that shot.
Well, this is too much to wrap around my head. Really.
It's too much. It's too much.
What about the whole? How did the kid get on the roof?
Well,
why did they let him?
Exactly. He was carrying a firearm, a rifle. It wasn't no one that you detach, you put together. No, he had it. Witnesses are saying that he had it on his back. He went around, there's a ladder, went up the ladder, and this is not no rocket science. This is no rocket scientist. This is one of these, one of these wannabe future nationalist people. He want to be down. That type. Oh, he was a conservative Republican. His family was
Did you hear
conservative
what his
Republican.
nickname was in high school?
No.
School shooter.
School shooter.
He was picked on.
Because that's what happened. They picked on him in school. Because he was a nerd. He wasn't a genius. Some people say he was smart. And for the ones who want to say, no, he was a liberal because he did he donated $15. He donated $15 coming out of high school or something to a Democrat. But inside, they tell you, the same ones who said he was picked on, they'll tell you, whenever they debated, he was the one talking about, no, liberal conservatism, blah, blah, blah. He argued for the conservative points of view. He argued, this young man, Thomas Crooks, he argued for that. He didn't go liberal, no. When people was like, yeah, no, he went the other way. So when they want to put out this narrative, every false narrative that they put out there is being dispelled. This is a conservative Republican individual that pulled the trigger. And he wasn't that skilled. You're going to they want you to believe that this person who couldn't hit a target from 130 yards just miraculously clipped his ear. That's what they want you to believe. But when you look at the whole thing from when former President Trump was up there speaking, he was looking directly in the direction where the shooters were. I'm going to say shooters. He was looking directly in that area. They had this billboard. No, he was looking at this billboard. No, he was pointing, but he was looking that way. Like, yeah. Look at the board. Everybody look at the board. And everybody's looking at the board, right? And now he has a reason to turn his head that way. Does that make any sense? Law enforcement...
No, none of it makes any sense.
None of it makes any sense. Law enforcement went up there about 2 minutes before he actually started firing. Law enforcement went up there. The local law enforcement climbed up there because the people said there's somebody up on the roof. Finally, they had to respond. They went up there on the ladder. They saw the shooter. They claimed that the shooter aimed the gun at them, aimed the firearm at them, and he rapidly descended down the ladder. Hold up. Why didn't that sniper, those counter snipers, there was two snipers up there. There was two counter snipers. There was one on the left side, like on the left of the stands that was behind them. There was two buildings up there. There was one to the left, but that one was blocked by the trees. The one to the right or directly behind the stand had the clear view. That was the one who unalived Thomas Crooks. He had a direct angle, direct line of view. So how is it that he did not notice that? Especially if they informed him that somebody was on that roof. Because you know that whenever something happens like that, they go, okay, this is roof 1, roof 2, roof 3, roof 4. That's what they do. Whatever they have there, they assign a number to them so they can keep tabs of it. So why didn't he look at that? And if he didn't know, why didn't they inform him that there was a shooter, that there was a person on the roof with a rifle? And then they want you to believe that this person who couldn't hit this body, who fired off like 6, 7 shots, and didn't even hit this, what is he, 6'4", 185-pound stud standing up there. It was 210, it was 210, right?
200, yeah, 6'4", 210.
6'4", 210-pound stud standing up there. He couldn't hit that guy, and he miraculously just nipped his ear. That's why a lot of people say it's staged. They're saying
He would also have to be skilled enough to miss.
he'd have to be skilled enough to miss, but had to be skilled enough to hit an ear from just, well, let's say 400 yards. And I told you about the skill set that these guys need, right? So hitting an ear from 400 yards is no problem whatsoever. 500 yards is no problem whatsoever.
Can I tell you my opinion on this?
What's your opinion?
I'm not buying any of it.
Which one?
None of it.
My theory?
I'm not buying your theory. I'm not buying any theory. I don't know what
We're
happened.
not gonna listen to him anymore.
I don't know what happened. It's
Cut his
too
mic
much
off.
for me to wrap my head around.
I know, but there's when you look at the big picture. When you look at the big picture, because a lot of people think, well, that wouldn't be a nice thing. You're talking about a very vile person, and when you look at what's at stake here, you're looking at the leadership, the head, the crown, let's say the throne of the most powerful nation in the world. That is nothing. That is nothing. I want you to think about that. That is nothing. To put one scapegoat, one individual, to hand over that kingdom, an emperor status level to an individual. That is nothing. And I don't mean to belittle anybody, life and death, but that's a fact. That is nothing for the prize to be won. This is a fact. So,
I mean, what if he meant to miss him and he hit him? Then,
who meant to miss who?
well, if this kid is skilled enough to clip his ear,
But he wasn't skilled enough. That's why people were saying there was a second shooter that caused the injury. Not him. Oh no, not him. He couldn't hit a human. He couldn't hit the guy from 130
who
yards.
hit the firefighter?
That's what I'm saying. Straight bullets. It's like this DMX song. There's DMX had a hook in one of his songs, and he was talking about how he was going to rob this. He was going to him and some of his boys was going to rob these drug dealers, right? So and they was going to rob him for the money, and the guy came out and he was like, and DMX is like, yeah, he shot his man, my man, his man, my man, that man. And I got out of there, and that's what it reminds me of, right? He couldn't hit him from. He just don't have the skill. So would you put your life in the hands of that person? No. What you would do, put it in the hands of somebody who could hit a target, hit a quarter from 1,500 yards. Think about that. I want y'all thinking, this is why a lot of people saying it's staged, and his reaction was staged. People saying, let us see. You would show the wound, wouldn't you? No, he just got this bandage on his ear. Saying,
That's quite a bandage, by the way.
it's a big bandage to have a little nip on the top of your ear. He got the whole ear covered. What's that about? To make it look, it's once again, it's all staged. That's what a lot of people are saying is staged. But the crazy thing is that everybody, respectable people, high-powered, high-level politicians was calling the family, issuing their condolences. And they were like the senators from Pennsylvania called, the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania called condolences, right? All saying the same thing. The firefighter was a hero. The governor called, right? And asked, if he could mention, this. He didn't just call and say, hey, yeah, I called. No. He said, you mind if I let people know about what your husband really represented, how much of a hero he was? The Democratic governor called. The president called. President Biden called the family to wish condolences. You know who didn't call? Don't do that as if I'm going to say Donald Trump. Donald Trump. The man got killed at his rally supporting him. The people got shot, nearly unalived at his rally supporting him. And he doesn't have the human capacity to call anybody to let him know, give his condolences. This is absolutely crazy. This shows you how lacking, what is that?
He's not empathetic, is what you're saying.
How lacking of empathy he is. How pathological he is. What kind of misfit he is. He's unfit because he does not care about anything. The funeral. They say, okay, he's having a funeral, have a wake. The commissioner, former commissioner who passed, who was unalived, right, who was killed at his rally. And they were saying, oh, you know what? Well, Donald Trump can't go because of security reasons. Hold up. He could call, can he? What kind of security problem is that going to pose? Let me know. Maybe you can wrap your head around that.
They can't Skype him in or something?
Skype him in, Zoom him in, what's that other thing? WhatsApp him. There's just too many ways. Even just hit him up on a regular phone call or text. Couldn't do that because there's no empathy. This man has no empathy towards anything. He does not care. 3 people. Seriously, 1 people killed and others seriously wounded at his rally, and he couldn't lift a finger to call them and wish his condolences or show any kind of empathy. He has none. He has none. They are nothing but suckers to him. That's all they are. He's a 34-count convicted felon, and they still support him. I'm the type of person that I'm gonna tell you. At times, I would tell you I don't have no sympathy for them, but I acknowledge it. I don't. When you're a sucker, you're a sucker. That's it. When you're a willing sucker, then you're a willing sucker. I mean, look, you put yourself in that position. But let's move on. Okay. As you know, breaking news. You heard about it, right? You heard about the news already, but I got breaking news for you that I said last time I was on air. News is that President Biden dropped out. I'll tell you about the breaking news later because President Biden dropped out. For whatever reason, he dropped out. Okay, don't care. I don't care. I got texts on my phone. Oh, who would you support? And I said, don't be silly. Don't ask no silly questions. Why? Because I'm going to support the nominee. It doesn't matter. I'm going to support the nominee. As long as they're not a 35 account felon. If they got 34, even with this guy, I'll support him. Support him because the other guy got 34. So my nominee got 35, I probably wouldn't support him. But, it is what it is. But he decided not to go for a second term. And I understand. And you know who gets more pissed off? You know who gets more pissed off? I'm going to tell you about it. Let me tell you what happened. He then threw his support behind Kamala. That's a crying shame. I'm a black man. I should be able to pronounce her name, right? Kamala Harris. Vice President Kamala Harris. He threw his full support behind her. Right? He just threw his full, because why? He said, look, I picked her for my VP because I thought if I couldn't finish my term, that she could do it. What more? What else do you need? Why is he throwing his? It's the liberal elite that got him throwing his support behind. No, that's why he picked her in the beginning. He's 80 years old. He's saying, you know what? It's time for me to call it a wraps. I'm not going to leave here. I'm not going to be the one who break up the party. I brought the nation out of one of the worst economical and issues or problems that our nation had to deal with in the last, 50 years, 40 years. You know, a once in a century pandemic. You know, unemployment rate at its highest rates since George Bush, since the Great Recession, when I was part of the recovery with the first African American or black president. I'm not gonna damage. I'm not gonna try and destroy. I'm not gonna cause harm to my party. I'll step aside. And one of the reasons why he decides to step aside is because, well, the vice president, Harris, was polling better than him against Donald Trump. And she wasn't out there campaigning.
But not considerably much more.
It's about a 2-point difference.
It will be enough.
Well, this is 3 months from the actual election. I mean, from the, 3 months? Going on 3 months. It'll be 3 months until voting, right? So that's not bad. That's not bad. Considering the fact that she's running against a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, a traitor, a seditionist. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And he's still campaigning. He's throwing his support behind her. But her being in the race, him stepping out, takes away the biggest problems that they have, which is his cognitive ability and his age. It takes that out the mix. So now they're gonna have to formulate something else because you are stuck. You are stuck with a pathological liar. You are stuck with an adjudicated rapist. You are stuck with a felony, 34 count of convicted felon, and you're still stuck with in Georgia. You still have the case in Georgia, and even though in Florida, the judge dismissed it, it's still up to be upheld. So now you still got those 34, 88, because you had 3 dropped. It was I think 91 originally, but 3 was dropped in 3 was dropped in Georgia, so it dropped down to 88, 34. So now you still got 54 charges. Oh, she just dismissed this case. What's her name? Judge Eileen? The judge that was handling in Florida. Go ahead.
I'm not good with names.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
I see that.
So, Judge Eileen, let's just throw it out there. The Florida judge, right? That was handling the documents case. She dismissed it, but now it's being appealed. It's being appealed, right? So that really hasn't gone away, and we still got the Georgia, and we got the insurrection. We still got the insurrection because the Supreme Court said, you know what? Presidents do have a certain level of immunity, but not complete immunity.
Do you want her name?
Okay, tell me. Give me the name.
Judge Aileen Cannon.
Aileen. Oh, I say Eileen. I say Eileen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge Cannon. Yeah, Judge Cannon. All right. So that being the case, that's still floating around, right? That's still floating around. That's what she's got to run against. And I've just seen her. in the last couple of weeks. She's been out there. And she's starting to pick up energy, right? She's starting to pick up energy, and Trump is losing energy. And J.D. Vance, I don't know what he about, because I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I could not.
He wrote a book. We know that.
He wrote a book, and it hit the top list as soon as he was announced as VP. apparently it hit the top of the charts. But now Kamala Harrison has a book out there too. And she's now the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. Her book is like flying off the shelf. So, man, they're about even with that. But back to what I was saying. Trump is losing it. This guy's all fickle. And now his cognitive ability comes to light. Okay? And this is when I come into that segue into the breaking news. Question. How long? Oh, Lord. Breaking news. Is it really breaking news if it's already been discussed? Yeah, it's breaking news because y'all probably didn't pay attention.
Breaking news on this show.
Breaking news on this? No, it's not even breaking news. This is where it was originally broadcast. But there was a lot of people not watching it. I mean, y'all still not watching. Oh, when y'all see this, man, and I blow up and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't been watching this guy for the last, 3-4 years. He's like a prophet. We like him more than we like Louis Farrakhan. Oh, I can't blame you either. Is that a little big-headed of me? I don't think so. Anyway, fake stream media. Fake stream media. That's what's going on right now. Right now, since Joe Biden has dropped out of his bid for a second presidential term, why aren't fake stream media letting it go? Oh, no. He was forced out by the liberal elites and for the elites of the... No. People talk to him. They talk to him. And he said, you know what? If y'all think she could do it, and she thinks she could do it, I support her. Leave it at that. He dropped out. But no, they want to go and get the opinions of whom? Donald Trump Jr. Who's the guy? Mike, what's his name from the House of Representatives? Oh my gosh, you don't know. The guy. The House.
Mike Johnson?
Mike Johnson. They want to go to Mike Johnson. They want to go to Marco Rubio.
I didn't have to look that up. That was in my head.
I know. That's why I called on you. Marco Rubio. The head of the RNC, the second assistant to the RNC, and all these other people. Who gives a flying frick? Nobody cares. No Democrats care about what they think. No Democrats care about what they think. Oh yeah, and these little slight surveys that you do where you go to places where everybody just sitting around lounging now. They don't really care. You go into these places that are either leaning Republican or conservative. They don't really care. We understand the image that you're trying to promote, the false narrative that people are really scared of VP Harris becoming. They're not going to support the black. Stop it. You fake stream media. And I've been talking about you guys being fake for decades. And these online media outlets, TYT, that's yeah, progressive. But then they drop off. And they start downing anybody and trying to promote or in a way that they're attacking your intellectual capacity and they're feeding, they are continually to abuse your trust for them, the trust that you have in them. And they try to do it in a slick way. But I'm here to tell you that they are not. They are not slick. And they are not to be trusted. And they are not They are not the liberal media. They are the fake stream media because they got you believing that they are fair and balanced. Like, what's that other place? The Fox News echo chamber, the wrong wing echo chamber with Newsmax and all of them. Fox News, remember they used to talk about fair and balanced? We're fair and balanced. Who was that? Bill O'Reilly, fair and balanced, blah, blah, blah. And they were not fair and balanced. They haven't been fair and balanced since Alan Cohn was on the Sean Hannity. Who? Alan Cohn? Yeah, Alan Cohn. It was the Hannity and Cohn show. But then they got rid of Alan Cohn. And they have not been fair and balanced. And the media, this fake stream media that people keep saying is the liberal media, and I've been saying for years, for decades, they are not liberal at all. They used to be somewhat balanced, but now they are totally fake in everything that they do, except for their attacks. They're still attacking. They're going to keep attacking Joe Biden and the Democratic Party for the next 3 months. They're going to be doing it. Every stumble that Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, make, they're going to blow it out of proportion. We already know that in the wrong wing media, where Fox News, Echo Chamber, Fox News, Newsmax, and all those other shows, all those other organizations, we already know that they're going to blow everything out of proportion. And they're going to downplay any good thing. But also this fake stream media is going to do the same thing, but they're going to, like a little wuss. At least we know what Fox News is going to do. We know what Newsmax is going to do. And when they don't do it, we shocked it like, whoa, hold up. They actually fact-checked somebody? What the heck is going on here? But not the fake stream media. I mean, Van Jones, who was supposed to be, who many people thought, and I thought also until recently, till like I think yesterday, that he was part of the Obama administration, directly part of the Obama administration, but it turns out that Joe Biden was his supporter, who brought him in. Van Jones, he's a senior analyst on CNN. When they had the RNC rally and Trump got clipped on the ear, he was like, oh my God, there you go, Democrats and lost. Dude, it's like 4 months out of the election. What are you talking about? And he's been doing that for consistently since the debate. He amped it up. Oh yeah, no, this is terrible. They're gonna lose. He was doing it, but then the other day, well, yesterday, he darn near cried when Joe Biden resigned. He darn near cried. Is it because he can no longer? Is it because he truly loved Joe Biden? Because a lot of people in the Democratic Party truly love Joe Biden, respect and love Joe Biden. And believe it or not, a lot of Americans respect him for what he's done, even though they have been demonizing him, ostracizing him, trying to ostracize him from his accomplishments, what he's accomplished as a president. Even though they have done that for the last 3.5 years, a lot of people still admire him. And we're talking about on both sides of the aisle, both sides of the political stratospheres, Democrat and Republican side. Respect them. So I want y'all to think about this. The fake stream media is still going to try and make it about, they ran him out. He was the presumptive nominee. No, yeah, he was. You know what? Yeah, but he wasn't the nominee. Unlike the 34 count felonious indicted presidential nominee, representative of the Republican Party, he's not he wasn't the official representative of the Democratic Party. They couldn't put nobody's name on the ballots throughout the nation. Now, they couldn't even put Donald Trump's name on the ballots until the Republican Party officially coronated him as the representative. So, that being the case, well, anybody, literally anybody, could be nominated and become the representative for the Democratic Party. It's highly unlikely, true, but that's the reality. Unless somebody's actually nominated, I mean, not nominated, but actually been established as being the representative for that party, yeah, it's up in the air. And the last time something like this happened was who was it? JFK's. I got his. JFK's vice president.
Johnson?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah.
Lyndon B. Johnson was the last time a president decided not to run for their nomination, for the second nomination. Because remember, Johnson took over from Kennedy. That's 2 years right there. Then he served 4 years. And then he decided not to run for that second term. He didn't do two terms. He did a term and a half.
Right.
He decided not to run for the second term. And that was the last time a party nominee, a party person, right, president decided not to run for a second term. That was the last time. So that being the case, this is historic in a lot of different ways. But fake stream media, they want to make it about, the liberals. The liberals ran them out. You're going to hear them saying they're going to be verbatim. I said not verbatim, but they're going to be, I'm going to say, they're going to be verbatim saying, repeating the same thing that they're going to be saying over there in the wrong ring media. They're going to be saying the same thing, but they're going to say it in a slightly different way. But they're going to be saying the same thing. Joe Biden, they ran him out. They kicked him out of his own party. Even though Joe Biden, I guarantee when Joe Biden come out, he's going to say, you know what? I got faith in Kamala Harris, and that's it. And I feel, it's time for me to do a changing of the guard. Time for me to hand it over to the young. What does that do? That messes up everybody now, because now they got to change up their whole strategy, because now Donald Trump is the old man. Donald Trump is the old man in the race. And not just by a few days.
How old is he going to be in 4 years? What is he, 79 now?
He's going to be, I think he's 78, right?
78.
78? If he's 78, 79, he'll be 80, 82, 83.
Older than Biden is now.
Older than Biden is now. He's only 2 years younger than Biden. Whereas Kamala Harris is only 59. I know, she don't look 59, right? I saw her age, I was like, 59. Get the heck out of here. And she got a lot to talk about women.
How old does she look?
She don't look 59. She looked maybe 50. I ain't gonna say she looked that young, but she looked maybe 50 or late 40s. She don't look like, when I say 59, 60. Right? We talking about 60 years old. And she don't look 60 years old. She don't. So I'm straight up with that. And I was shocked when I saw her age, I think just yesterday. I was like, 50 what? 59, what? No, okay. No, she's 59. Donald Trump is 20 years older than her. And he's already losing his marbles. He literally compared himself to Jesus again.
He did?
He said, people say I'm the most famous man on the planet, in the world. And then I go, no, not me. There is one person more famous than me. Jesus. I said, this dude, let me tell you something. He's supposed to be God sent. And I'm gonna do a show on this thing, the Antichrist and I'm gonna do a comparison. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. Between him and the Antichrist. And these are going to be quotes from the Bible to show you where they're pointing out the Antichrist, okay? I know I might get struck down by somebody, but I'm going to put it out there. What was it? And he mentioned God. He said, oh, by God's graces. when they said, I only got hit in the ear, he said, oh, by God. And everybody, oh my God. The hell? Like, what the hell is this guy doing, man? So yeah, that's the fake stream media. That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to dog out Kamala. They're gonna try to dog out Kamala and they're gonna be repeating everything in the wrong stream atmosphere, in that echo chamber. They're gonna be bringing it out here, but they're gonna be doing it in such a, shiesty way. That's the best way I can say it. They're going to be playing on your intelligence. And then they wonder why. They wonder why they are losing or they don't have the type of following that they used to have 20 years ago. 20 years ago. But I want you to understand something. Most of these, I think all of these major news organizations, right? Cable news organizations, cable channels, news channels, stations, they're all controlled by a conservative multi-billionaire. Believe that. A conservative multi-billionaire. We know about CNN, but also NBC, CBS, and ABC. And then you go into why? I mean, there's not every last one of their hosts of their shows, not every last one of them, but a lot of them, they're just like that. Rachel Maddow fell in that thing a couple years ago with Hillary Clinton. They took out the morning show on NBC, MSNBC. I forget his name. Oh my gosh, I'm getting too old for this.
Stop forgetting names.
I'm getting too old for this. Mika and her husband. The day after the shooting or the attempted assassination, I'm gonna call it attempted assassination of Trump, they took him off the air. You know that? The day after, they took him off the air. The next day, he came on the air and he said, listen, if you ever do that again, I'm out. I'm quitting. I'm gone. Bye. Screw you. Because they didn't want him to comment on what happened. Morning Joe.
Oh.
And do you know that that's his wife? Did y'all know that Mika is Joe Scarborough's wife? I didn't know that either. I found out it was his wife. So that being the case, I want to close out with mental health issues since we're talking about Donald Trump. To take serious note of mental health. All right, don't let this world drive you crazy. If you see people who need help, you have to make it known. Okay, I mean it's a hard topic, but here in the Tampa Bay area, they're having things to actually promote for mental health. Okay, so that being the case, I'm out. We can just jam out. Yeah, we out, man. I mean,
That's it? You're out?
I think we out. I mean, we're going to cut it off. We're going to have to extend it, right?
You can say goodbye.